Well, it's October 31st. Happy Halloween. Bow Hunter Die special here. Well, by the time you're watching this, it's probably no longer Happy Halloween, but as I do every year, I am heading west, and I am heading to a spot that I always hunt every year. It's big timber, public land hunting. I absolutely enjoy it. It can be tough at times, and it can be some of the best hunting at times. This year, we are going to find out which one it is. We have work to do, and westbound we shall go.
We had some wolves howling behind us here. Well, I said, I'm hunting that big timber country. This is full of timber wolves. Although for me, that's a good sign, because this may be deja vu or a repeat. There a couple of years ago, when I was hunting out here, I shot actually my biggest buck of my life. He had brow tines that curled back, and that was a year that I just had wolves everywhere howling around me. And they were actually, I think a day before I shot that buck out of that stand, I ran into them, literally ran into these wolves at the base of my tree. So maybe it's deja vu. Maybe this is going to be a year that I can shoot that caliber buck again. A giant 9-point. I ended up having to replay the video to just count tines on that thing. At least it looked like a 9-point, real tall. I believe I got him on the trail camera. He come through an edge. There's the edge of a tamarack swamp here to my west, and he was actually a lead. There was a doe behind him, and he was working his way due north. He was 80 yards out. He wasn't going to obviously work his way any closer. He's coming around that tamarack tending a doe, so I figured I would grunt at him. That didn't do anything. He didn't pay any attention to that. So then I snort wheezed at him, and that he didn't like. You know, it's hit or miss. I've grunted in and called in a lot of bucks. I've also snort wheezed in quite a few bucks. Not as many as I've grunted in, but sometimes it's like decoy. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This one here, he was a hot doe, and he was heading north, so I figured I'd give it a try. Better luck next time. So we just moved stand locations. I'm now hunting a grown-up cutover, and I think it's going to be a good spot. We've got a southwest wind. There's kind of a point that comes out in this grown-up cutover, and these deer have a tendency to fall through it. There's not a lot of openings. It's kind of a thick cutover, but this particular spot has a good opening. You know, these deer just kind of zip through it. They bed to the north, and then basically due north means this way. They travel across and head south, and vice versa, cruising for does. So we just got set up not too long ago, and we already had doe and 2 fawns coming right down the trail. Come from the west, heading to the east down this pinch. So the doe's mouth was wide open, so I know she's been bumped around. She was on high edge. These bucks are harassing them, which is a good sign. Hopefully one picks up their trail and decides to follow it down, because that seems to be what's going on right now, is that these bucks are really pushing these does around. I think they're going from doe bedding to doe bedding, just bumping everything out of there, chasing does. So just a matter of the right doe and the right buck coming by at the right time. A lot of rights there. Well, good morning. We are set up here hunting a cutout. This is an old grown-up cutover, and it's getting really grown up as the years go by. But every time we sit it, we see a 3.5-year-old buck at least. So a shooter. I did see a big boy. He was with a doe a couple days ago. And this is essentially a doe bedding area. Does like to bed up behind us, and then also to the north here. The reason I say us is across away from me, I have Earl, Idaho Earl. He drove down to Idaho to do some whitetail hunting. And I got him set up over there, because these deer have been popping out, and they basically traveled through this, got over at 2 different locations. I'm sitting in one, I got Earl in the other one, and I was thinking that by 2 of us we can cut them off wherever these deer come through. Our wind is good for both of us, we're not affecting each other, nor the cutover. And Earl had a buck chasing a doe behind him. He's hunting a wood line. I'm actually in the cutover that's growing up. So they're definitely chasing. This is usually not a hot spot until mid-morning, about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, because this is the heart of doe bedding. So I think a lot of these bucks wait till these does bed up, and then they come in and they start cruising looking for them in here. So
He's down. Ooh, ooh, yeah.
big buck. He come through. I grunted at him. He turned, came right here. I got the camera set up. Come to full draw on him. I shoot, he turns into the arrow, and it was like an extreme quartering too. But I believe I hit him in the heart. I just see blood pumping out of him as he turned to run. I just heard a bunch of crashing right up off this corner. I think he's down. I think we got him. It was a weird shot. Because again, as I shot, he actually turned to bolt. And it was about a 23-yard shot. And that arrow hit him more quartering too. But I could see the arrow snap, and I just see just like a bucket of blood just pumped out of him as soon as he turned. And I heard him run into this brush, and then I heard a loud crash, and that was the last I heard. So I'm not 100% positive he's down, but it sounded a lot like he just fell right in there. Wow. I got Sarah's sitting with me. That's where it broke off. So that's the arrow laying after the shot. All right, so we just crawled down. Earl's gonna stay put yet. He's got another buck running behind him. I'm gonna grab my bow here. I'm gonna go up. We're gonna go check out, see where the arrow's at, see what I got for blood. According to Earl says he heard him crash. I've heard him crash. That's two opinions saying that he's down. Like I said, when I hit him, I just saw that blood come spraying out of him. So we're gonna go check out the arrow. Let's go check out the blood, see what we got. Look at that. I gotta take a photo of that. That's running. I cannot believe that. Look at that grass up there. I have never seen anything like that. So, I want to take the time here because I can see it, what I'm looking for. I'm covered in blood just reaching into this. If I shake it like a leaf, I'm shaking like a leaf. So, you always hear me talk about bubbles in the blood. I still can't stop shaking. See all these bubbles? This is definitely a hard shot deer, but those bubbles tell me that that's lung. So, I gotta calm down here. I'm still shaking like a leaf. This is a dream come true. I mean, I blood all the way up here. When you're on a track, the blood in your arrow tells you it's a crime scene. It's you're processing evidence. The blood spatter pattern, was it a droplet that dropped straight down, or did it have force onto it? If you have a tail on it, a spatter, and the spatter will leave the pattern, that tells you what direction that blood came from and if it had force. If it has force, it's being pumped out. If it's a droplet dropping down, that's gravity pulling it down. So you obviously want forced out. Color of blood. If you have bubbles in the blood, that's always a huge one for me because that's your main target. It's double lung. Heart is beautiful to brag about, but double lung is what you want. I got both on this one. You can see the bubbles in it. Studying that arrow, smelling for guts, dark red blood, wondering if you got liver. You have to slow down, and I'm saying this so excitedly, but you have to slow down. You have to analyze what you have for a hit. I could be blind and just follow this buck with my hand. I've never seen this much blood in my life. My pants are covered in it. My hands are covered in it. Sarah's pants are covered in it. He's right up here. He ain't going far, not with this much blood loss. So there he is, baby. He's right here. Look at the size of that buck. Look at the size of this buck. Here's where he went into the tree. Nice. Oh, my goodness. There. Look at that. Boom. That is an awesome buck. Here he is out of the brush. This buck, I think, is the buck that eluded me about 2 days ago. Just a beautiful 8. Huge body on him. A real dark chocolate, good mass to him. And he can't no exit on this side. Arrow's still in him yet. I gotta be careful when I get him cleaned up here, but beautiful 8. I've been seeing this guy. I've been seeing bigger bucks out here than him. But again, this is some tough country, but it's addicting to hunt. I'm telling you,
There is no farm fields for miles upon miles over here. This is all public land, and I call it big timber because it's easily, you go probably 10, 15 miles and they're in a field. This is for these deer. Cutovers are a major food source. Inwoods, acorns, obviously, browse, hazelnut, other types of shrubs are good food sources. And this used to be a food source, still produces forage for them, but it's grown up to where it's now become bedding area. And this guy was just going through the bedding area. He's gonna be set checking for does. He started to make a scrape. I have him at about 35 yards. I won't shoot that far, just me personally. And so I grunted at him, and when I grunted, he turned. He came in, he gave me probably about a 23-yard shot, and sounds like Idaho Earl coming, or we got a bear coming in on us. It's Idaho Earl. But he gave me a 23-yard shot, and arrow came in, and it was broadside, but as I shot, he turned, and it caught him up into the chest, and definitely blew out his heart. I mean, it's 100%. I've never seen a blood trail like that before in my life. What do you think, Idaho Earl?
Well, that's a good buck right there.
He's not an elk, Earl. He's not an elk.
Well,
but big body boy. Boom. Is his tongue sticking out? I'm sorry.
Nope, you're
Okay,
good.
perfect. Okay.
You want me to retake it?
Nope, keep it recording. Yes. Yes.